Right-wing tradcon men are completely anti-male, and they are just as vicious towards their fellow man as the most hardcore feminist. Now look at this loser here, Red Eagle Politics. Banning immigration and pornography do a lot more to solve the problem of mass shootings than banning guns. And it isn't even close. Like that's just an outright lie, right? He just hates foreign men, men in general, but the outgroup men, and he hates the fact that men gain pleasure outside of serving women. So he's a feminist, right? Now, I don't have to necessarily respond to him because this guy V destroyed this loser. So I'm going to show what he had to say. V says, I saw an anime titty, so I went and shot some people after jacking off. Must be the biggest American brainlet take of this century. The idea of going after petty shit in order to explain complex social issues never ceases to amaze me. Well, V, it ceases to amaze me because I know what motivates these monsters, right? This guy's a subhuman. Now, here's his pithy reply to this. A gooner pretending not to understand the argument about how porn destroys the brain's reward system. A tale as old as time. Really? This bullshit about pornography is fairly new. Really? So this guy isn't pretending not to understand the argument. He just shot you down, you dumbass. You can't argue back. Now V says a med graduate who thinks you're chugging on pseudoscience in order to sound smart. First of all, men jerk off, so we're all gooners here. That's a good point, V, including this guy right here. Don't even try to give me you're not like the other girls talk unless you're castrated or taking hormones. Very good. V, you voiced it so much better than I could. Secondly, the reward happens when you jerk off, regardless if you visualize or using your imagination. That's a good point. That's a good point. Thirdly, if you fuck my wife 5 times a day, or sorry, if I fuck my wife 5 times a day, that also affects the same reward system. And I still don't feel like shooting anyone. That's a good point. You see, this is female worship, right? So putting your dick in a vagina somehow erases all this brain damage that supposedly pornography causes, I should say. Finally, every nation on earth has access to porn, yet for some reason there's no shootings. That is a good point. Just because you're a right-wing Chris cuck doesn't mean you have to invoke moral panics for no reason. Wow. Wow, this guy just destroyed this man. No, by rights, he should be turning tail and running. But because these lizard brain men don't know enough, they just keep coming. I reject pornography almost entirely for secular reasons. No, these aren't secular reasons, dude. No need to bring religion into this or insult my faith, right? Why bring up your faith then, since this is about the secular, right? Second of all, this is an oversimplification that pretends not to understand my argument. This is a lie, of course. This guy understands this argument perfectly. Actual sex does not have the same effects in the brain. This is a lie. If you actually had it, you would be able to tell. All right, so this guy couldn't have been laid by a woman because she's magical, right? See, woman worshiping leads to the death of male well-being. Third main point is that there isn't a serial killer or mass shooter that has normal, healthy sexual fetishes. Porn leads men into isolation. No, it doesn't. He's got the cart before the horse, guys. Isolation can lead to more porn use, but porn doesn't lead to isolation. And in many cases, warps their brain into more insane fetishes. It's a big trigger for transgenderism. Oh, now he's blaming transgenderism. So if I have a foot fetish, I'm going to become a furry tomorrow, right? The attraction to transition for many, not all, but many. Okay, this guy's just a lying sack of shit. I'm going to skip the V because he's going to destroy him. If you can't handle insults, then don't dish them out. That's a good point. My carefully selected insult was designed to create maximum offense, not to judge your porn habits. Secondly, it's not oversimplification because your argument is too dumb to be complex. He's destroying this guy. Actual sex and masturbation triggers the same reward systems in the brain. True. Or are you trying to suggest spanking it has different chemicals or feels better than actual fucking a woman? Well, he's just destroying this asshole. Thirdly, the overwhelming population has various fetishes. Mass shooters are placed under a microscope, hence why we know which fetishes. However, one of the worst shootings in U.S. history was done in a gay bar by a Muslim who saw gays kissing on TV. There's no indication he had any weird fetishes. Elliot Rogers is another example. You see, this guy is arguing with brute logic, right? There's nothing this guy can say. You're doing a typical American moral panic, trying to tie it recent events in with historic pattern that doesn't exist. The trans shooters happen because of hormone influence. Read side effects of hormone therapy. Sorry, of the hormone therapy and extremist ideology on social media and academia. Porn is literally a non-factor here. Watch porn and we don't have BNS of shooters. BNS, watch porn, and we don't have, I don't know what BNS is. Yet they don't happen in Switzerland where they have guns and porn. See, this is how he destroys it, right? Japan doesn't have any shootings either, right? Or rarely has any shootings. Now, they don't have guns, but they have all kinds of pornography. But they don't have mass stabbings either, right? They don't have mass violence. But his example of Switzerland really destroys it. Porn is not a non-factor here, okay? The shooter was a gay furry porn addict that played gay furry games and had gay furry true boyfriend, right? So this guy is doubling down on something that's already been wrecked. A non-factor that means that even without the internet porn, the shooting would have happened exactly the same. There's no reason to believe otherwise. Besides, trust me, bro. That's a good point. Porn doesn't say normal people are scum or that Charlie Kirk is a fascist. Right, exactly. And trans people exist not because of Pornhub, but because their ideology is defended by social media, TOS, university safe spaces, and corporate HR. That's the work of social media and academia. This is 2010 Fox News level of mental retardation, where the violent video games are the reasons for the shooting. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, V. Because what you're pointing out and what I'll add is video games and pornography have one thing in common. They give men an outlet. They give men pleasure. Society's against that on its face, right? Now, this guy keeps arguing. Now, V destroyed him. But the fact this guy's still arguing with other people shows you he lacks embarrassment. He's a sociopath or a psychopath. He just hates men so badly, right? Now, we'll get into our Reddit here, which I'm going to post so you guys can read it. And he takes this clown down again. because he points out what's important. DBD Killer Bay. He points out that this guy hates men, and that's what his motivation is. This far right Twitter user linking porn to mass shootings in a non sequitur manner, using the hate speech term gooner. Wingers are feminist. Yes, this is an exaggeration. They are feminist. They just don't carry the label, right? But arose by any other name, right? Now expanded a bit so the wording isn't a little. Oh, there we are. Feminists link porn to sexual violence and rape as a non sequitur in a non sequitur manner. There is even a casual link between more porn and less violence. That's something we should understand. Countries that give men porn, you see rape go down because the frustration's cut out. Funny how giving people contentment leads to less violence, right? Feminists do this to smear men who enjoy porn if they want to take porn away for control freaks reasons. Controlling behavior is sadism for the sake of sadism. Sorry. This is the most important thing, right? This right winger, Red Eagle, is a sadist, and he's a man hater, right? We're his victims, or the victims. We're the guys he targets to make into victims. Here's a right-wing nut job using the same tactic. Expect he wants to link porn and immigration to mass shootings instead of rape, right? Yeah, he just switches up what he wants to uh, link it to, right? But it's all the same playbook. Porn and mass shootings have no links. Exactly. Mass shooting are caused by gun ownership and mental health problems caused by America being a shitty, nasty, right-wing society that lets people fall through the cracks. Well, you will have some damaged people who unjustly lash out and do mass shootings in that situation. Exactly. Also, one of his replies is ranting about Gooners because he gets called out for his low IQ brain rot. Yeah, he got embarrassed and he had nothing to say, right? He also repeats debunked no-fap nonsense about porn destroying the reward centers of the brain. Yeah, it's been debunked. So they just keep bringing it up. Just like feminists bring up the wage gap, even though it's been debunked thousands of times. How this is even linked to mass shooting is not clear, but hateful control freak bigots do not feel the desire to make logical sense. Right. As been pointed out, hate is its own logic. Hate is illogical, but it doesn't matter. It feels good. Guys go for it. Right wingers are our enemy, period. Right wingers enforce misandry and team up with feminists, damn right they do, on all the issues feminists consider important. Abortion is about the only exception to this. And right wingers have trash low IQ framing on this issue, so they are more or less useless. Right wingers are anti porn. Right wingers incite anti male threat narratives against immigrant men. Right wingers support prison rape, which is one of the most worst things you can do. Right wingers support child support slavery. Yep, that's hatred of men. Right wingers support no fault divorce. Now, he says, I support divorce, but a divorce where the man keeps the assets he has earned. So that's an important distinction. We're not anti-divorce. We want men to be able to get out of that disgusting situation of marriage. Marriage is anti-male at its core. But the thing is, these guys want no fault divorce, but they want alimony and child support. They want to destroy the man. And then these guys, these disgusting subhumans like Red Eagle, politics, he wants to pretend he's on men's side while destroying men, right? All kinds of other people pulling him, phoning him too. Banning porn will work wonders, just like prohibition did. Yeah, yeah. You see, they all got this guy's numbers. And of course, he keeps coming. He keeps coming because he just knows he wants what he wants. Man haters are subhumans. They're lizard brain. They have no ability to think, I just want this and that's it. And I'm going to make up these post hoc rationalizations. I know what I want is evil, but I want to be seen as good. So I'm going to claim that it's good. I'm going to make up bullshit to say that it's good when it's evil. Hey, Red Eagle Politics, I hope you see this video because you are an evil person and fewer people like you on the planet would make the planet a better place. Just thought I'd tell you that.